test for sound. Yeah. Okay. One last mic test. Blah 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 ba 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 ba. Konbanwa minasan, kyo wa suyobi senjo desu. And this is Paulo from the Garrison Archangel team. Hi everyone, just realizing now that the intro we use for Wednesday Warzone is getting a bit dated. So yeah, hello everyone, this is the first Wednesday Warzone of August 2018. And as I said, this is Paulo of the Garrison Archangel team. And what you're seeing now is possibly what you're gonna get when we update our what do you call this, man, our public update build. This is the preview build we have up earlier, and everyone on the preview build should know how the updates we've been doing on that build. So oh no, I made a mistake. Okay, made with Unity. Anyway, so hi guys, yeah, and everyone who has been asking how are we doing. there's been a lot of changes internally in our company, but if you're on the preview build, you should know how busy we are. There's a lot of changes being done to the game, and you guys are definitely helping out with the bug fixes. And if you've noticed in our recent preview builds, and I did report this in previous. What? It's broken? Busted? Oh, okay. Hold on, guys. I'll just put you guys back in. Just put you guys back here. Sorry about that. Damn. Okay. As you all know, we've had some changes in the preview build, which allowed us to play multiplayer. Allowed you guys to play multiplayer because we made it available for public, and we've been stamping out bugs since then. And we feel like the preview build is currently in a state that's close to a proper update. So there are some bugs there, but there are some bugs here and there that might not be addressed, but we feel like most of the game-breaking bugs will be addressed by the time we have this next update. And this next update, we intend to have it, if not by the end of this week, by next week. We're just dealing with certain bugs like... Yeah, it's good. We are? No, we're not. It's delayed, man. Check the screen. Oh, anyway, we're back. For everyone watching, we're back. Okay. So anyway, where was I? I was just talking with the technical support staff, who's also our sound guy. Where was I? We're going to finally update the public build either by the end of this week or by next week. The bugs we're planning to stamp out before we go for the public build, just so you guys know, are involve the death tickets bug, because death tickets is really bugged in our preview build, and we're just gonna do some final adjustments for online multiplayer. For you guys on the preview build, we do listen to your feedback and we're trying to address that, and we're hoping to fix the weird mobility bug where after you dodge you can't move. So I don't know if I can demonstrate it. No, we can't, not right now. But anyway, that's the bug we're gonna try and address, and we're gonna fix death tickets mode. Then we're gonna update the public build, and as you can all see, the game looks much different. It reminds me of the time we transitioned from itch.io to Steam. So as you can see, new sprites, new thrusters, new particles, and thank you for handling that sound. It was getting caught on mic. Yeah, okay. So anyway, sorry, we just had to get rid of a certain sound in the background. So all new particles, all new effects, new movement. We also fixed the camera. You can do this without it being too weird. As I showed in the previous Wednesday Warzone, there was some weird behavior when you start attacking, and now I think we've polished it, so you can now fly. Just hold up, and then you'll start doing this kind of weird flight in the air. But at least it's smoother than how it used to be. But you'll still more or less behave in the same way if you attack someone from above, from the side, and it'll still feel like the old game, but a little more polished. So there's a lot to look forward to with this new build, and everyone at the preview build already has felt it, and they actually helped us get this far. So thank you, everyone. So we'll be updating the public build. I just want, like I said in the last Wednesday Warzone, I just wanted to make sure all the features we had in the old build are present in this new one. And when we put out preview, we had a lot of new stuff, but there was some missing features like online. And now I feel like we're approaching that, and it took us 1 month, but thank you for bearing with us, everyone, and thank you for helping us out. We'll definitely aim for this week or next week at the latest. So yeah, that's the update regarding the update. So yeah, thanks guys. Another piece of news I'm gonna give you guys now is that we're also planning to update the demo, the free demo that was on itch. We're gonna make a Steam version of the demo, and we're gonna put it on the Steam page. And if you guys look at our Steam store page right now, it's not showing on my end, but I did see some Japanese tweet talking about it. We've set the date for the free demo update to August 11, which is next week. So we will be updating the game, mostly updating the demo, mostly the graphics updates we did, and the new weapons and the new physics and the new behaviors. Because the one at itch.io is so outdated, and it really needs a new demo to more accurately show prospective players what they're gonna get if they buy the game. So yeah, if you want to show your friends the game, by next week you can direct them to the demo, show friends, family, show your co-workers, and then show them how nice the game has become thanks to you guys, and it'll be more accurate than whatever we used to have on itch. So there's that to look forward to. And we're also planning on expanding where you can get the game. We're planning on expanding to Humble Bundle. Because we now have the free demo on Steam, we're gonna expand. We're gonna be selling the game in other places, one of them being Humble Bundle, and we'll be able to use the Steam demo as a way to as a preview of the game. So we'll use the Steam demo as a way for people to judge whether they like the game or not, and then they can have other options other than just Steam. They can go to Humble Bundle, and there are other places we have in mind, but Humble Bundle is the only one I can reveal right now because that one's already in the works. So there's that to look forward to. We'll also have a different price on Humble Bundle compared to Steam. And that's because they have a different way of how do I explain this? They have a different way of pricing things.
Taxing people.
Yeah, I'm unsure of what I should say. They have a different way pricing. They have a different pricing system, so we'll have a different price set on the Humble Bundle store. I'll announce it when it comes out. But there, you'll have more options on where to get the game. Of course, what's being sold on the Humble Bundle store, since our multiplayer right now depends on the Steam client, are Steam keys. So you'll still need Steam to play the game for now. But like I said, it's just an alternative, and the price is different from what you'll see on Steam. So it'll give you options when you decide to buy the game in the future. So there's a lot to look forward to in the game. First is the graphics. It's much closer to the anime style I wanted. Initially, when we started this project, I wanted a really mecha anime kind of game, and now it really looks like a mecha anime. And sometimes I just play the game and just pretend I'm like an ace pilot or whatever now, and it really feels like that. So I hope the guys, you guys who are with us, and you guys who are watching this right now, play the game and you'll understand how I feel, and that would be great because that's what I wanted to achieve when we set out to make this game. Many of us on the team also had that, but not all of us are mecha heads. And you guys on the Discord know this because we talk with you guys a lot. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. As you can see, we also changed up how the missile trails work. They actually now use your color. So it might be weird at first because you might have a darker color than normal. And certain attacks like the jump up leave trails. And yeah, it really contributes to the mecha DBZ kind of feel.
Separate color tab for projectiles.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
So the our sound guy just said separate colored tab for projectiles. That is a good idea. I just wonder if it would it be a separate tab per part, or
Maybe.
yeah. It could. I think we can add another one. Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyway, so yeah, that was on air. We increased the customization you can do basically, and now that someone gave me that suggestion, it might even be even more customization options in the future. So if you're not gonna buy the game yet, next week we'll release a demo. Try the game out there. It'll have the new graphics and the new mechs, and you'll get a glimpse of the game. And if you want to join us on multiplayer and see all the weapons, like everyone else on our Discord and who've been helping us out, then just buy the game on Steam. It's out right now. It's on early access. It's still being developed, and I think this is a sign of how much we've developed. If you watch our trailer, it looks completely different from the trailer. Speaking of that, we need to update that, and potentially we're gonna update the trailer with some new stuff from our single player campaign. Oh yeah, single player campaign. That's the other thing.
You
Ooh.
wanna know what that means? New trailer, right?
What?
It means new music.
Oh, new music for the new trailer.
New
Okay.
lyrics.
No, not with lyrics. Oh my god, no. So yeah, yeah, I just heard myself. Okay, yes, these new graphics, with the pace at how we've been developing and changing the game, a lot of the stuff we have out is actually a bit outdated. So you can expect new stuff to come out, new posters, trailers, stuff like that, and you'll all get a glimpse into the planned single player campaign we've been making. So there, yeah. Okay. Oh, now we go to the part where I get asked questions, because I was just quiet for a while because I was thinking about what else to say.
What else is there?
What else is there to talk about?
Yeah, right. Like,
Other than me using Mr. Surprise every time.
fucking...
Alright, actually we do have stuff to talk about. Speaking of the single player campaign,
Yeah.
I think this Wednesday Warzone is a good chance to just answer questions about the game itself. And by the game itself, I mean the lore of the game. Many people have been asking me about the lore, and I explain stuff to them on Discord or post snippets of it on our Facebook via the ads of the weapons and the Twitter posts. But we've never really talked about the lore. And the reason for this is that currently, as how the game is presented, it's like a fighting arena game. There's not a lot of chances to talk about the lore because it's billed as a sport, an arena sport, and then the stories are like the players, the pilots, who are basically like wrestlers, pro wrestlers. They just want to be rich, or they have some kind of feud, and it's all showbiz.
You said they're like wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
Are there going to be like voice acting?
Are there gonna be like voice acting?
How would
Yeah.
you deliver promos
Without voice
without
acting.
voice acting?
Yes. If there's gonna be voice acting, it's most likely gonna be me. Although if you guys, we do have something called the Horde voice community voice project, where we add voices to the Horde grunts. It's currently on our Steam discussion pin. You guys want to help out, maybe make a promo like before you start the match. You talk about your feud with, I don't know, Mr. Surprise or something, and then you get destroyed in that same fight. So much for that fight. Yeah, I was gonna talk about the lore of the game. Sorry, got sidetracked, but yeah, I do want to make like promos just to add to the showbiz aspect of the arena. But the arena as a showbiz aspect is just one part of the universe of Garrison Archangel. And it's like that because of, well, the history of the setting, which is the Archangels were once mass-produced powerful military weapons, and there were a lot of them because there was a looming war with something called the Demiurge. The Demiurge is like a super AI with mechanical ships and mechanical monsters that didn't you sometimes you couldn't understand how they work because they were so alien and weird. And the Solar Empire had to fight that. They made archangels. They made archangels to help out their fleet of ships and other weapons, and the archangels for a while were like the tip of their spear. But after 100 years of almost no fighting with the Demiurge, all these archangels were just lying around eating up money. And this idea came up. I explained this in previous Wednesday Warzones, where fights between archangels were actually really popular propaganda amongst the populace of the Solar Empire. So they decided to monetize it. They privatized the Archangel tournament, and Archangels started to shift away from being machines of war to entertainment, mechs for entertainment. That's why you can color them, and that's why it's always about the arena, because it's like the big thing. If you become an Archangel pilot, you can become big. You can become like a cool rock star. Your name's everywhere on the posters, and that is the main setting of the game. As in, thus far, that has been the setting of this game, which is the arena combat. Now, the single-player campaign we're making actually involves the Archangels the way they were originally supposed to be made, which are weapons of war. They're weapons that fly in, carry a lot of weapons, destroy everything, then fly out. That's the kind of weapons Archangels were envisioned to be. And they had a lot of flexibility. And
that actually explains the bunch of thrusters that we have.
yeah, all the thrusters we have, it's because they're meant to fly around a lot, okay?
Go in, go out.
Go in, go out. Just go in, unload everything, kill everything, then escape. Get out. That's the kind of fight an Archangel is good for. And because it's a bipedal mech, you can operate in a variety of locations, like in air, ground, space, because of all the thrusters.
What about underwater?
Yeah, they can actually operate underwater, but but of course, as you all know, in a stage called Carrier, those have arena regulations, and that's why they fall into the water. But in truth and in fact, Archangels are actually they're supposed to be airtight for the pilot inside, and they're supposed to be able to operate in all sorts of environments. So they are supposed to be these weapons of war that you can send anywhere, and one Archangel can like have so much weapons and destroy several different targets and powerful units alone. And that single player campaign is actually about a pilot, an Archangel pilot, who will receive different missions using this Archangel to achieve different missions, because it's flexible. Like, one guy can ask him, go into this base, go into that building, destroy this reactor, get out, or just fly over the base, bomb everything, or go underwater, go here, destroy that, or a space mission where you fly into an asteroid colony and then shoot up the place. A single Archangel can do all that, and you're a mercenary with an Archangel. Although your history is up to you, we leave that up to you. But the choice of where you can go or what kind of missions you take, that is what you'll do in the game. So that's it. That's the general idea for the single player campaign. And there were a bunch of questions asked in our Discord about the setting. And I spoke at length about the setting, about Archangels particularly. But the setting is the setting takes place weird. The setting takes place. Okay, the game takes place in the Milky Way galaxy, and in the Milky Way galaxy, there's a large empire called the Solar Empire. The Solar Empire was made by a bunch of human colonies that banded together to fight the Demiurge, which had taken over Earth. Now, in the Solar Empire, people have asked, is there FTL travel? for the Solar Empire and the humans of the Solar Empire, the only method of FTL travel that exists is called the waypoint system, in which they have giant gates that connect 2 points together. So these giant gates basically instantly transport you from one gate to the other. But the downside of the waypoint system is that you need at least 2 gates to work. So you need you need 1 point and another point. You need an actual gate at those 2 points to actually transport between those 2 points. That means if you want to go somewhere without a gate, you need to send out a drone that can create the gate at that specified location. Then you will be able to use faster than light travel. And the drone just uses normal spacefaring propulsion, so it'll take years, perhaps decades. Some of them are centuries. Some of them may take centuries, and there are some drones still out there right now opening gate on missions to open a gate somewhere. Because the Solar Empire was made by a humanity that has long left Earth. There are actually several waypoint gates throughout the galaxy, sent out there hundreds of years ago by the original humans who left Earth to colonize the stars. And the Demiurge, having taken over Earth, forced the colonies to band together to survive, creating the Solar Empire. Now, not all the human settlements out there are actually aligned with the Solar Empire. Even though the Solar Empire wants all of humanity to unite against the Demiurge, and because of that, the Solar Empire views them as potential security threats, because the way they fight is they control the waypoints throughout their system. Like, if they know that this waypoint leads to a place where the Demiurge have taken over, they can like stop the Demiurge right there by destroying the waypoint, for example. Or they can fortify that waypoint and then launch a counterattack from that waypoint to take back the territory the Demiurge had taken. That's how they fight. Like, if, for example, if I had waypoint A, B, and C, and waypoint A was connected to waypoint C, and you had taken over like waypoint C, then obviously I'd protect waypoint A. I can put all my forces in waypoint A, and if I know waypoint B leads to somewhere, leads to allied territory, then I don't need to put my forces there. So it's all about protecting the waypoints. That's how the Solar Empire currently manages the conflicts in the galaxy. So
But what about the player though?
what about the player? Okay, so the player in our single player campaign won't have, sadly, it won't be at such an epic scale. So we might actually limit the actual single player campaign to 1 planet, but time can change that. So I'm just describing the general questions asked. So regarding FTL travel, that's the answer. They have FTL travel. It's called the waypoint system, but it's very specific in how it can be used, and it means more or less that the Solar Empire stays kind of static because they're limited by the waypoint system. There's expansion going on, but it's kind of long term, so they generally have an area of space in the galaxy where they operate. Also, the Demiurge were decisively defeated. I say that with decisively with some sarcasm, by destroying the only waypoint left that directly led to Earth.
Oh, propaganda.
Yeah, so in other words, the Empire won because the enemy can't reach them anymore. The Empire won. That is the setting of the game, and because of that, the Demiurge haven't appeared for over 100 years because the only waypoint leading back to Earth was destroyed and became a time-space anomaly called the Hellmouth, which fronts the planet Garrison, and that's why there's Garrison. It's actually a Garrison Archangel was actually supposed to be a franchise, and Garrison was supposed to be the head of the franchise, and the planet Garrison is that planet facing the Hellmouth, which it was called the Garrison because that's where they would pour all their military resources, because that's where the demiurge would appear to fight them. And after 100 years of no demiurge, we had all these archangels lying around, and they were just eating up money. They were mothballed, but they were still expensive. So some of these archangels were actually sold to shady sources, and that's potential enemies in the single player campaign. So you have bandits with archangels, and some of these archangels were actually downgraded to become arena spec archangels because they're cheaper to maintain at lower specs, and you can use them in the arena. And if you're a good archangel pilot, you can get famous. So I think, was there any other question?
There are questions in the YouTube chat.
Oh wow, okay.
Is there a waypoint planet where the planet will break before the Archangel Guard does?
The planet will break.
Is there a waypoint planet where the planet will break before the Archangel Guard does?
Is there a waypoint planet where the planet will break before the Archangel
Guard
does?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't know how.
I don't know how to answer that. It depends. The Archangel core of the Empire, the nice thing about them was that they could, via the waypoints, they could basically go anywhere in the planet and act as a really fast strike force. And because they're in-out fighters, blow stuff up, they just kind of, all the way from one point of the Empire, scoot over here, blow up whatever's there, then if there's another problem, they scoot over to the other side.
I don't know, man. The way you describe it, it sounds too violent for me.
Yeah. Hey, we're giant robots. So.
What about saving people? Like escort?
Escort missions? Yes, escort missions. All right. There will be some of that because.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, you can do anything. Why not escort missions? In the single-player campaign, you'll be interacting more with the companies who make the weapons and the parts. I don't know if I've said this yet, but Yoshikawa, the guys who made the Dominus, the Mugen Sakura, the Fusion Blade, they like making swords. And they made the Gyuki and the Kappa, which are really fancy advanced units.
Sword boys.
Yeah. Their biggest company is actually their agricultural company. So they only recently went into mecha production, and it's only because they have such a wide influence and a lot of resources that they were able to create a venture in that direction. But they are originally agriculture specialists of agriculture technology.
Farmers.
Yeah, and that's why in Renge 5 you have sakura petals all over the place. That's them kind of showing off. Renge 5, by the way, is their HQ planet. That's where the headquarters of the Yoshikawa company is. That's them showing off
their plants.
Yeah, they have we have sakura petals all year. We have blooming sakura all year round.
Sakura season.
All year round, that's them showing off basically. So, you'll have stuff like that. So now you're thinking, how would a agricultural company like Yoshikawa be involved with my campaign? Well, an agricultural company like Yoshikawa wants to sell food, and there's a lot of stuff you can use with biology, and there are people who want to eat specific things like specific animals, and Yoshikawa can either create or procure them with their technology. So they're that kind of company. They're not like say Eagle, even though Eagle has a lot of different Eagle has guns and all these different weapons, but they're also into the aerospace and flight technology, like life support systems, the stuff you need basically to fly around in space. So they're also into that. So sometimes there'll be missions where Eagle's not about blowing stuff up, they just want you to protect this new spaceship, for example, that they want to transport to a factory, but a rival company wants to steal the design. There'll be stuff like that in the single player campaign, and I guess I'm explaining a bit of the lore so you guys can understand the context in the future. So wow, I'm just talking about the lore right now. Where do I even begin? Where do I even go from here?
You know what, I should just ask you a question.
Yeah, let's go.
Lore related question. questions first, then we go to the general stuff.
Okay, okay. Let's just go lore questions.
Galactic Republic in the lore.
Their Galactic Republic in the lore. Okay. The interesting thing about the Solar Empire is that they're actually really loose about their vassal states. Vassal states meaning states under them. They actually have different kinds of government types under their
Vassal.
under their like umbrella empire. This is because the first emperor knew that he just wanted to unite all the resources of humanity in space to fight the demiurge. He actually didn't mind them keeping whatever government system or keeping how they manage their own colonies or planets. So there's a system in the empire known as the prefecture system, where if you are a prefecture ruled by a prefect, meaning you're appointed leader, the appointed leader gets to run the prefecture however way he or she wants. And the only thing limiting them is basically if the emperor has some personal beef with you, or several other prefects have some beef with you, they'll actually that's the only time you kind of have to limit surrender your rights to the empire. It's like if I was the CEO of this mega corporation and I decided to join the empire, the emperor can make me a prefect. That means the CEO only answers to the emperor. So the CEO is free to manage his own planets and his own mega corporation any way he wants. But if, for example, he was found to be dealing with enemies of the empire, the emperor can come down on the CEO and either revoke his prefecture, making his entire company. Because companies in this setting have become so big, they can encompass several planets and several colonies, and they can run them like their own country. That's how big they've become. Like Yoshikawa has several planets, and
someone asked for Russian.
Medvedev. Yeah, they run their own planets, and the way to keep them in line is at least to have the CEO of the company swear fealty to the emperor. And there are like and the trade-off for that is that the empire will also provide resources and protect the prefecture from whatever threats come. Most obviously the demiurge. That's the reason the empire was made in the first place. So you can actually have republics with democratically elected leaders, or whatever, assigned prime minister, but that prime minister or that leader will answer to the emperor as a prefect. Now, the interesting thing about the prefect system of the Solar Empire is that the prefects actually can choose from among themselves who becomes the next emperor. So it's actually possible for like the CEO of Eagle Aerospace to become Emperor of the Solar Empire, for example.
This sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Are you saying if I can beat the CEO, I can be the CEO, right?
Yeah.
That's basically it, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So they actually have a process like that. But I won't go into details. It's just that that's the system that was adopted because it was the best at the time. They didn't want to impose a rigid system, so they pretty much made sure, okay, you've run your colony well thus far. We just ask you for resources for certain things. And basically, what the empire actually controls is the head of the state of each of those small states. There are actually many small states in the Milky Way. Like Shenji was from a planet called from a Chinese descendant colony state known as the Tian. And the Solar Empire actually annexed them a little recently, like a few decades before the current setting. So Shenji was actually forcefully annexed along with the Tian. The Tian, I don't know what to call it yet, but that is their space nation.
It's the idea.
Yeah, it's the idea. But yeah, so you might have there are some characters who don't like the Solar Empire that much because while the Solar Empire offers security, they'll also forcefully like, if they see you as a threat to their security,
They'll fuck you up.
they'll either violently annex you or pressure you into joining the Solar Empire.
Yeah, well, I was about to ask. It's almost like you were saying that the Solar Empire are the good guys in this scenario.
They are, in the sense of they're the ones
The Demiurge,
against the Demiurge, yeah. And actually, they are pretty. Like I said, if you listen to the prefecture system, they're actually pretty loose with how they're like, okay, you can be king. Just when we ask stuff from you, just give us stuff. But you manage your own stuff.
Yeah.
We don't care. That's basically it. So that's, if we're talking government systems, that's how the Solar Empire operates.
Government talk.
Yeah. Okay.
What about a competitor sent by the Demiurge to fight into the arena?
The Demiurge are a very taboo topic. Any talk of it makes you suspicious and gets you hunted down by a special force called the Sentries.
Yeah, so person who asked that question, don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it, please.
Don't talk about it.
The Sentries are a special police force sent to track down Demiurge characters and the agents of the Demiurge. Because the Demiurge are like super advanced AI. They were able to send infiltrators, cybernetic infiltrators called prints, which they're called prints because they're like printed out, like 3D printing. Yeah, so
on the nose.
yeah, so they're printed out, but they look like humans, but they're obviously made of some other material, and they usually have special capabilities of some sort. And the Sentries were made to hunt them down. During the Demiurge Wars, the prints were used to open up old waypoints and basically screw up the positioning of the Solar Empire's forces, because they'd open new ways for the Demiurge to attack them. And the Sentries were made just to make sure all the key planets didn't have infiltrators who could do that. So yeah, there's that. But it's possible for certain Demiurge agents to still exist in the Empire because, well, this stuff is galactic. There's
so
bound to be
there
someone.
are space traders.
Yeah.
Space traders.
Space traders. That's kind of they're like
Space traders doing space crimes.
yeah, space crimes. The Sentries are basically like the secret police. But now that there aren't any publicly known skirmishes with the Demiurge, no one really knows what the Sentries are up to. So there's that. Any other questions? I think
Are you planning any missions for the single player outside of arena matches?
Yes, I've
Answer is
been
yes.
describing a lot of things. Yes.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you for the question. But yes, I'm talking about the lore now because I just want to give you all a glimpse of what the life outside the arena is like.
Wow, that's a glimpse, huh? Okay.
Yeah, wow, shoot, I explained so much stuff.
Ooh.
This is like a Q&A. Okay.
Hey, if the Demiurge are AI, where's the off switch?
Hey, if the Demiurge are the AI, where's the off switch? On Earth, but they control Earth.
So, gotta infiltrate it first, I guess.
And good luck with that,
Yeah, good luck with
because you're a squishy thing, and they're...
Space Boy.
You're a squishy boy, and they're like, oh, there's only one squishy boy in this entire sector. Okay, so
Environmental weapons
environmental
in the
weapons?
single player, like you know how you can control a turret in some games.
Interesting idea.
Like you can ride a turret.
Like riding a environmental weapons, like riding a turret. Interesting idea, like riding a big tank, but you are the tank.
You ride a space ship.
But you're already essentially a spaceship.
No, shut up. Okay.
Why would you want to be a turret if you're already the turret?
I want to know where the port is in the Star Wars.
Okay. Interesting idea. We'll bring it into consideration.
So maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But essentially, expect it to be you're a giant robot there to do giant robot things. So there. What else is being asked?
Does the Empire have special legions loyal to them?
Yes, they do. There are special Archangel Corps. The Archangel Corps is one of the. It's one of the forces that isn't specifically aligned to one prefect. The Archangel Corps is specifically aligned only to the Imperial family and the Emperor, because their task is to protect all the waypoints from demiurge incursions. They have to be up at all times, patrolling at all times. So they don't have any single allegiance to one prefect.
Cool.
But there are there are units out there, Archangel units and squadrons specific to megacorps and certain certain nation states under the Solar Empire. So there's that. Yeah. So the
Boss
Imperial
battles.
Archangel Corps. Boss battles will exist.
Okay. Can we get farming tech from Yoshikawa?
Can we get farming tech from Yoshikawa?
I mean, do you want a weapon that's like, I don't know, a gardening hose or something?
Yeah, I have already thought of ideas. Yeah, we can add that, but basically Yoshikawa, like I said, the reason Yoshikawa is so obsessed with blades is because of the cultural significance, because obviously they're a Japanese descendant colony megacorp. But their primary moneymaker is their agricultural technology and biology.
For food.
For food and other things like nice gardens.
Hybrid between Demiurge and Archangel, or Archangel and Sentry.
Yeah, those exist, but I can't say more about that.
What happens to the previous royal families voted out by the prefects?
Depends on how hated they are. If they're cordial with everyone, nothing happens. It's mostly peaceful. But
Execution!
but if they were hated by a lot of the prefects, oh boy.
Execute!
There are a lot of conflicts within the Empire for this reason, because they're pretty loose. But it's pretty hush-hush unless you're directly involved. Like you're on a planet where the fight's happening. The rest of the Empire either doesn't care or doesn't hear about it. They're too busy rooting for their favorite Archangel in the arena.
Royal families added over time.
Royal families added over time?
Yeah, I guess like you become a part, you can have your own royal family, I guess.
As part of the campaign.
Yeah.
Like I said, the single player campaign sadly isn't that epic in scope. But that's all this stuff's happening in the background.
Well, I just want a royal family. I never said I want to save the world.
But if you're gonna have a royal family and get royal stuff and get money, you gotta do things. But yeah, that's the idea behind the world, and the stuff I'm explaining now will make sense once we reveal what the single player campaign's about. So you have all these pseudo aristocrats running their own stuff, and some of them were basically forced to join the Empire. Some of them joined the Empire long ago. Some of them joined them for their own benefit. But the loyalty probably ends at the Empire, and you'll have them like fight each other over petty things like, oh, that's my patch of space rock. No, that's my patch of space rock. And you'll have them fight over that. There's stuff like that happens within the Empire. So even with the Demiurge not appearing after many years, there's conflict like that. It's actually common. But the Empire is so large, it never really threatens the Empire as a whole. So that's the kind of setting this game is.
Someone's asking for a radar system, lower mode.
Yes, the radar system will be integrated
Oh, cool.
because we're gonna have like a single player campaign, and the map. People have been asking for bigger maps, and I'll tell you guys now, the map is gonna be really big.
It's really big.
Yeah, we've only developed a small part of it, and that's already bigger than the stuff we have right now. And that map will be the region where you will do your missions, and there'll be different parts of the map. Like right now, I'll reveal it. There's a dam in the map because this is gonna take place on a planet that's being terraformed, and that dam is already bigger than a lot of the stages we have currently in the game. So there's a lot to look forward to. I'm sad I can't explain more. So next question, please.
So let's pause for lore-related questions for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more lore, please. No, I'll get back to you guys.
Share weapons when?
Share weapons when?
Because, you know,
In the
chairs.
spirit of pro wrestling.
Wrestling.
Transformable.
Transformable chairs into a ladder, into a table.
No. You put the chair down.
Then you sit on it.
or you slam the enemy in, or you slam the enemy into the chair. That's an interesting idea. I can't give you guys a timeline. The single player campaign is gonna be immense. I can't promise any new stuff for a while, but we do have some weapons in the pipeline. It's just that suggestions like this are new, usually new, and I can't give you guys a promise on that in the future yet. Maybe if development loosens and we get a chance to put in new stuff, we will put in new stuff.
Gun that shoots Dominus.
Gun that shoots Dominus.
Sure. I guess.
Would it be on the back, on the shoulder?
This is gun. I don't know.
Would be hand carried? The Dominus is already hard to carry, but okay.
How about you just throw the Dominus?
Throwing the Dominus, but it's so
Speaking of throwing
Not-
Dominus, are we
not weighted.
are we going to be able to ditch weapons like dropping them mid match?
dropping them mid-match.
So you can throw the Dominus, deal damage, then get a new weapon.
I don't know about getting a new weapon. That ditching weapons was actually an old idea. But we moved away from that and decided to make all the weapons be capable of still operating even if they're out of bullets, for example. So there's that. Also, because we have a system called the load system, would that actually give you bonuses if you throw away a heavy weapon, for example? There's stuff like that to be considered, and for that reason, I can't give any promises, but I will say that it has been discussed before. So right now we decided in this direction. Maybe in the future.
Separate arena ladder mode.
A separate arena ladder mode technically exists. It's called the arcade.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah, but even in the single player mode, there will actually be missions where like small leagues will approach you and be like, "Oh, we know you're a good pilot. Why don't you fight for us in the arena?" So they'll even within context of your story, you can go to the arena once in a while and fight. But like I said, the arenas in the setting actually use powered down Archangels, and powered down they're called arena spec, and the fully powered Archangels are called mil spec, for the safety of the pilots and of course of the building, which is basically covered in a force field, which you see in our arenas right now. That's the reason there are force fields everywhere. Basically, they're playing in giant balloon castles. That's actually what an arena fight is like. They're playing in a giant balloon castle, and they've been powered down so that they can't deal serious damage to each other. So right now what you've been playing is like really just entertainment version of Garrison Archangel. In the campaign, you'll be playing an Archangel out in the real world. I say that with fingers, quotation marks, yeah. Out in the real world, where you'll fight guys who'll have like completely different like stats and capabilities. And if you're not prepared, they might just overwhelm you because they can just kill you in one blow, for example. So you'll have to upgrade your Archangel to be as good as those characters, and you have to be careful in missions about certain things, because you'll find out that tanks are actually more tanks and helicopters are more lethal than your enemies in the arena. So there's that. Next question. I forgot my train.
Quick more question. Is there a term limit for royals?
Is there a term limit for royals? That depends, because the guys making the rules are actually the prefects.
Still in the draft.
Yeah. Well, actually, the real world is, I did consider that, but mostly it's determined by the most powerful of the prefects, because they're the ones really calling the shots. If you're not in the Imperial family, if you're not the current like Imperial family or Imperial organization, you need to be like in the top tier of prefects to call the shots, and it's hard to really determine who's powerful, who's not, because it's the Empire is kind of loose. They only really militarily have certain obligations, military and resource obligations, but politically stuff like that can really change wildly.
Speaking of family, Wyatt family Archangel 1.
Huh?
Wyatt family.
Wyatt family Archangel.
Yeah, this guy knows. This guy knows.
He gets it.
Follow the buzzards, man. Follow the buzzards.
Well, we have several bird-themed
Anyway.
archangels.
Anyway, sentry colors.
Sentry colors. Um.
I don't know.
I right now they don't have any really specific color because they're supposed to be like a secret police. So they're supposed to meld in with whatever society they're in. Sentries are also used as bodyguards because they possess special technology for tracking down the prints. And sometimes they have technology derived from hunting down prints. So
Are you
they
saying they're invisible?
they're not invisible, but they'll look really weird. They look really weird compared to normal people.
They look really invisible.
Yeah, not invisible. Like you can't really unify them. There won't be a specific strict unification. But I'll give you guys more details on like their badge of office. Stuff like that will be also revealed in the single player campaign. Cause in certain routes and certain decisions you may come afoul of the sentries.
You know what? You should just dump that lore stuff to Raki because I think he's
Yeah,
gonna make fan arts. or
he's
something.
gonna make fan art.
He's gonna make fan arts.
Yeah, he is.
Hey
Oh yeah.
Raki, send us lewds.
No lewds, please. Anyway,
Custom intros for multiplayer and competitive.
custom intros for multiplayer competitive. Boy, that was one of my wish list stuff. I can't give you guys a time frame, but you already know that there's like a win post, right? There was supposed to be an intro post alongside that. It's just that along the way it had to be axed, but we'll see in the future if there's time. I will definitely put it in. It adds more personality to your own personal Archangel. Any other questions, man? Wow, lots of stuff.
Arcade survival mode where the life bar doesn't reset.
Arcade survival mode where the life bar doesn't reset?
Yeah.
Horde survival or arcade survival?
I don't know, it says arcade survival, so
But in survival mode, your life bar doesn't reset.
there you go.
Okay. In horde mode,
Just play the game more.
Okay.
We have lots of more stuff now.
okay, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You can play survival mode from either custom game or the single player menu. Horde mode right now though, you do after 5 waves, all your stuff replenishes, but that's because you have a lot of enemies. Although if you want, I can make like a hardcore horde mode setting where you
Don't
only
get
have
hit.
yeah, you don't have any refreshes ever. But yeah, then it's for guys who can really manage the resources. It means certain weapons like SMG and Dragoon are unplayable though, unless we change them to become reloadable type weapons. Anyway, next question, please.
How well do arena piloting skills translate to military Archangel skills?
There are certain things pilots can do in the arena that
They do and
yeah, military Archangels generally won't do, like the special maneuvers at close range. Generally in a real world fight, you don't want to pack as much ranged weapons and just kill the enemy before they get close. It's really in the arena where you get all these special moves and maneuvers. But there are specialist fighters and units who use close range weapons, but usually they'll deal weapons that like kill you in one hit, like a normally powered drill or a normally powered Dominus. The Dominus is an arena weapon. In the single player campaign though, you can make the Dominus closer to the original weapon it was based off of, which was a secret weapon used by Mr. Surprise's ancestor. So there's stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff like that. Basically the fancy stuff you see in the game, like the flourishes, the iframe by dodging and slashing, those are stuff not commonly used by military spec Archangels. Military spec Archangels fly in, blow stuff up, get out. All their if they're gonna use an attack, it's an attack that hits without any like no special like wind up or whatever. They'll hit you and then you blow up. It's that kind of fight. It's only when you fight another Archangel who's like heavily armored or like specialized in sword fighting, then maybe you'll start doing sword fight maneuvers because they're like parrying your stuff or whatever. But that's actually rare outside the arena because they'll just blast you from a distance, basically, more likely, or they'll blow you up with shotguns or all these other ranged weapons. But there are melee weapons find use outside the arena because they can deal massive damage without expending bullets, and that's useful for fighting hordes of enemies or for fighting targets that are too large to just use missiles on or guns on. So you just want to hack at it until it explodes. So there are cases like that, specific cases. Against a Demiurge, the melee weapons would be very useful because they used to swarm opponents with drones. And an Archangel with a melee weapon was more likely to survive because they could hold themselves well in melee range. So there's that.
Custom content.
Custom content. Mods, you mean?
Community submissions.
Community submissions, yes. We have ideas. We've wanted it. It's one of the stuff on our wish list. Right now, no solid timeline. Lots of stuff on our table right now. I hopefully next Wednesday Warzone or in the trailer I get to show you guys the world you're gonna be in, and the stuff we've been doing. We've spent a month just trying to get this build to look beautiful and better than the last build. And the next update's gonna be huge. It's gonna show off a lot more of the setting. So next question, please.
I don't like Rocky.
Why?
He's asking for lore on the two avatars we have.
Rocky's asking for lore on the two avatars.
Yeah.
Well, the two avatars we have represent the typical youth of the setting.
Oh, the youth.
Yeah, they who seen the Archangel, seen the Archangels on their holo televisions. Actually, I don't know what to call them yet. They've seen the Archangel fights and they've somehow got their hands on an Archangel and now want to make it big in the arena. That's basically the lore. That's basically the generic. They just want to be famous. They want to be rock stars.
So what you're saying
kind of story.
Is that they're basically just happen to be two good-looking people.
Hey, good looks are important for the celebrity business. Right. Okay.
You know, for advertisements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to be a rock star, you gotta have good looks.
I guess so.
Yeah. Just kidding. But yeah, basically, that's the general explanation. They're looking for fame and fortune, and they think Archangel is the way. Riding an Archangel is the way to get it. With the single player campaign coming out, we'll also give you the ability to customize your own characters, so it might not be that. But for these first two characters, that's basically their story. They just found the Archangels as a way to become popular and rich.
They're just random celebrities, really.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. They're up and coming, guys.
I guess so.
Yeah. They just had their debut in the arena kind of characters.
Demiurge waifu.
Demiurge waifu.
No.
There's gonna be many of them. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. But anyway, let's just say the Demiurge, because they're powerful. It's a powerful AI that can do almost anything. It's almost like a god, and it's able to print out agents. You'll see a lot of different kinds of Demiurge prints.
Different kinds of waifus.
Different kinds of characters, not just waifus. But sadly, not necessarily in the campaign mode. Because they are, like I said, for 100 years, the Demiurge have not attacked the planet Garrison. So they haven't been seen for a while. If there are any Demiurge, those are agents who are like deep undercover, and they're in hiding because the rest of the fleet can't reach the Empire right now. It's that kind of setting. And they're really rare because the sentries are actually doing a good job of hunting them down. So that's it for the Demiurge waifus. But I will say there's gonna be a Demiurge waifu in the game. Though you'll have to dig deep or wait for us to talk about.
What about battleships?
There are battleships. You might fight some of them in single player.
Can you can you pilot a battleship?
No, you're already piloting an Archangel. You're already too huge. No, sadly, this game is not about the battleships of the Garrison setting. It's about the Archangels. So, more or less, you'll be using the Archangels only. So, I guess that's a definitive. No, sadly, you'll just be using Archangels throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it for the questions.
Okay.
Okay, so quick update on the contest for this month.
Quick update on the contest for this month. I will give you the announcements next week. Although I say it's this month, it's usually I announce the contest this month, then it runs for a month, and then next month is the actual date. The actual like submission. It's similar to no, it's not. It's not at all similar. It's basically you have to pitch a weapon to us, like an all new weapon, because. And it'll have a new system. It won't just be a reskin, and we'll pick like the top and implement it in the game. You have to pitch the weapon, like draw it or make a trailer about it. We'll leave it up to you, but we'll judge it based on how cool the idea is and if we can implement it, how feasible it is, and how well we understand your vision, I guess. But basically, those are the three criteria. It's like, how is it cool? Can it be done? And are we able to like get what you're trying to achieve? Kind of how well we get what you're trying to achieve. Kind of criteria. I don't know what to call that.
Okay, really quick questions. Answer yes or no. AI teammate.
Yeah.
Biomechanic Archangel.
Possible.
Voltus 5 skin.
Who's this? No.
Okay.
We can't. It's trademark.
Okay.
Unless we like for some reason get Nagahama to work with us.
Okay.
But Voltus 5 is really big, okay? Archangels are just 3 stories. Voltus 5 is really big.
Yeah. And someone is interested in submitting a voice for the horde mode.
Okay.
Where can they send that?
They can send it to paulo.cabe@indigo-entertainment.com or just go over to our Discord and post it randomly in Tuni, which is what people normally do.
To tag one of the devs if you're going to.
Yeah, because it gets lost in there. Because the Tuni channel is where everyone just posts to their OC, even me, and I'm the guy who's making the game. But yeah, it's either go to the Discord channel, go to Tuni, post the voice clip, then tag one of the devs. Nico Nation is the best dev to tag in this case. Or just email me at paulo.cabe@indigo-entertainment.com. I put it in the Steam discussion forums, but I'll try to put it in the YouTube. I'll have to edit the YouTube header. I don't know what to call it. The description below. I'll try to edit that later on.
Okay, quick questions once again.
Yeah.
Archangel Racing.
Archangel Racing is a thing. I don't know if I can implement it or if we can implement it within the time. Giant boss fights will be a thing. One of the mission types will involve giant boss fights.
Are they kaiju or are they mechs?
Because the Demiurge are a super AI, it's gonna be mechanical but look eerily biological.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it? Wow, okay. We reached the end, finally. Wow. Thank you, guys. I'm glad you guys are all excited and put up with my lore talk and just watching this gray mech fly around and do weird stuff. So, yeah, we've reached the end of Wednesday Warzone. Are you sure all the questions have been... Yeah, I'll GA fan trailer. GA fan trailer contest. Oh, yeah, that would save us time and money. Just kidding. Oh, sure. If enough people are up to it, sure, why not? I'd rather you guys just make your own trailers because, you know, we made this game. Yeah, just make it MVs. We made this game so you can become like your own mecha pilot. So make your.
Remember that time when there's a lot of anime footages?
Yeah.
Just Linkin Park song in the back.
Welcome to 2004,
Just
2009. Yeah, I mean, we made this game so you guys could live your dream of, oh, I made a mech and I'm now the main character of my own anime or whatever. So
yeah, and Nung is playing in the back.
yeah, you don't need no. How chuny can you get? That's chuny 2004 era. Yeah, it would be unfair for us to ask for a trailer from you guys. But we did make this game so you can make your own stories. So that's why we even have a Chuny channel, because I know you guys have OC. You made your own mechs. You want to explain your pilot's capabilities.
So last question. Since
just make your own videos, basically.
Since we're having a single player campaign, I think it's an important question. Will any of the Chuny entries be included in the single player campaign?
Will any of the Chuny entries be in the single player campaign? For the arena portion of the game, definitely the winners of Cosmic Clash will get in. Kiko Pro will definitely get in. Leo Plerodon will definitely be in the game. I'm just talking with the creators, but that's part of the prize for like winning our contests. You get to become part of the game. I'm a little sad I can't run Cosmic Clashes over other countries, but if you guys can organize a tournament, then I'll just sanction it. Like, you guys run a tournament, stream it, I'll watch it and say, oh yeah, he's allowed to win. And if he wins,
he's allowed to win.
He's allowed to win. Yeah, he used that cheesy tactic. It's fine. If you guys can organize your own tournaments, I can sanction it, and then we'll just add it to the growing lore of the game. Right now, our hands are tied. We can only really do Cosmic Clash and other local tournaments. But if you guys can run your own tournaments, just get in contact with me, and then I can like sanction it. Maybe make mugs and then ship them over.
You want more mugs?
Make the traditional Cosmic Clash mugs and then ship them over.
You want stickers?
Yeah, stickers. Maybe we'll just find a way. It's just that right now we can't run it. But if you guys can run your own tournaments, we can sanction it basically. And then perhaps this can become a big deal.
We'll also post it on Twitter.
Yeah, we'll post it on Twitter. We'll be like, oh, congratulations. We'll post the videos. Then stuff like that. And then we'll give you special tags on Discord. It's just a matter of coming forward to me, and then we just need to discuss ways like how will I know who won the tournament, how stuff like that. Just the details. But we do want to have other official quotation mark tournaments in other countries also to get some data. We run the tournaments this early access mostly to get data on PvP and basically bug hunting, stuff like that. So having more tournaments and official sanctioned by us and the chance for players from other countries to be added to the game.
National team.
Yeah, the Japanese national team. I haven't heard from them. I heard they have practice sessions online. Yeah, it's just right now our hands are tied. In the future that can change, but if you guys really want to do it, we can help you out. We can even add your winners to the game, like I said. So that's it regarding that. That's it. Wow. Woo. When is Paulo gonna release the parody song? It's not a parody. It's a real song. It's a real song, and it's never gonna be released until I finish the lyrics. Okay. Other than that, I think I answered all the questions. I hope you guys were fine. I was standing around on the screen for a while.
For a really
long time, just talking. It's like I might as well just make a radio show or something. So, with that being said...
Are you saying we can have a radio show?
Podcast or something.
We should have this on a podcast.
Yeah.
It's simpler.
Yeah, but I don't know. YouTube's a little more... it has a wide reach. So...
Send your questions to papa.com.
Send your questions to paulo.com at indigoentertainment.com. But realistically, if you guys shoot a question on Discord and I'm online, I just usually answer them on the spot. So, actually, this Wednesday Warzone was just me vocalizing what I already wrote in our Discord server. So as you all know, our community is in the Discord server, so I suggest going there. And people also organize fights, online fights there. So if you're looking for someone to fight online, you'll get a better chance of finding that someone by being in their Discord. So wow, that being said, wow, more than an hour. Yeah, that was Wednesday Warzone. This is Paolo, and this was Nico Nation.
You can call me Richard if
Are
you're
you
nasty.
if you for nasty? Yeah. This was Wednesday Warzone. Sara, bye bye.